My name is Christine Hardy and I'm a life alignment practitioner and teacher in Durban, South Africa. One of the most frequently asked questions that are posed to me is, to become a healer, do you need a special gift? Now, I don't know about other healers, but I'm speaking for healers that are trained under the umbrella of Life Alignment and Dr. Jeff Levine. And our training is a very formalized training. And it's not that we just have a natural special gift and then we are just working by our intuition. The intuition develops later. So in other words, we have the training, and then with the love and the passion and the continuous energy that we put into our work develops a special gift, if you want to call it a special gift, where you are learning to trust the process and learning to really tap into your inner knowing. So that's almost like a knowing without knowing, because healing isn't done necessarily from a mental construct, but it's coming from another place that we need to trust, because it's not something that's really tangible. So Life Alignment, it's not anything new. It's been around for about 30 years. As I say, Dr. Jeff Levine is the founder and the developer of it. And over the 30 years that he has been traveling around the world teaching this, we have now established teachers and practitioners in 23 countries around the world. So what is Life Alignment? And why do we need to bring our life into alignment? And I'm going to try and give you an idea about the body-mind medicine that this is, so that you can start your own transformational journey if you want, and be empowered and be guided to lead your life to its fullest potential, because this is what it does. Life Alignment expands your consciousness. It's a journey to wellness, and it's based on the science of well-being. So it is a body-mind energy medicine healing modality that also works with other areas like the environment, and working with healing not just individuals but working with businesses. And my area of specialization is actually long distance healing, but we balance your home environment, your work environment. And so don't just think this is it. This is just giving you an idea. Now, what we need to do when we're starting on our own healing journey is, first of all, notice our thoughts. This is a very, very big part of healing, because your thoughts trigger an emotion in your body. And our thoughts normally come from a belief system of some sort that's not even serving us. So we need to recognize, first of all, what those thoughts are. Start noticing our thoughts, especially the repetitive thoughts that we have every single day, that might not be coming from a place of optimism, but maybe pessimism, worried about the future, worried about how you're going to get through the day, worried about the stresses of just everyday life. Even if you're the most chilled person out on the earth, today's heavy, hectic lifestyle and commitments, especially for women, juggling and wearing many hats, being at work all day, maybe trying to run their home and their children, their family life. It really is a lot of stress to cope with, just day-to-day living, never mind the curved balls that get thrown to us and the rocky roads that we have now and then in our lives, and the stress that comes with bereavement and, you know, financial loss and things like that. So you know, it's not easy. Life is tough. Now, Scott Peck, I remember him saying, yeah, life is difficult. But it doesn't have to be difficult. We can make it easier. So let's start with choosing our thoughts, and let's have a look and see what your stress coping skills are. So you can ask yourself a few questions. When I'm stressed, where do I feel that in my body? And how do I cope with that stress? So in the moment, do we say, oh, I'm too busy to deal with this stress now, so I put on a mask and I make out everything is absolutely fine and I just deal with it later? Do you numb out from stress? Maybe you've had so much stress in your life, you just numb out on it. Maybe when you're stressed, you withdraw and regress and go inwards. Sometimes people even go into denial, or worst case scenario, some people even get physical. So look to see what your stress coping mechanism is. So when we have a thought, and a repetitive thought that isn't working for us, that is going to be self-inflicted kind of stress. So what is that doing to our body? So we can do a little exercise if you like. It doesn't take a moment, but I recommend you close your eyes for this exercise because you want to filter out any outside disturbances that are there. So just close your eyes for a moment and maybe just access something that you recognize has either stressed you in the past or is stressing you currently. Take a nice deep breath in when you do that and just let your breath out. Because quite often when we're stressed, we do not breathe properly, we shallow breathe. And I'm very guilty of doing that when I'm stressed. I tend to breathe shallowly. So take a nice deep breath in, right down into your stomach. Okay, and allow yourself, give yourself permission to access a memory that upsets you in some way, something that stresses you or makes you feel anxious. When you recall that memory, just notice how it makes you feel. What is it doing to your body? Where do you feel that stress in your body? So when you get stressed, does it automatically go to your stomach? Does it go to your heart? Does it go to your throat? Maybe you're one of those people that find it hard to express yourself and so your throat constricts. If your breathing gets shallow, you'll probably just find that your chest area starts to feel tight. And just remember that your stomach is like a second brain. So when people start to suffer from irritable bowel syndrome and all those sort of things, that is your body's response to it. So when you have emotional stress, the physiology in your body changes and it has a response. And what is that response doing to your body? It's long-term stress that we're worried about, not just the short-term, but long-term stress, the build-up of stress. So that build-up of stress is going to compromise your health eventually, your immune system, your central nervous system, your endocrine system, and later you may have a whole host of problems. And also, you may start to have unexplained pain in your body. And you go to the doctors. So you go to the doctor because now you can't go to work, you can't function, you can't think properly, you're not sleeping properly, so you go and get sleeping pills, tranquilizers. You go and medicate because it's a quick fix, basically. Again, you're not dealing with the root cause of the problem. So life alignment helps you when you are ready and prepared to work, and I mean really work on yourself and dig deeper. You can heal traumas from the past, all these past stresses that have accumulated in your body. You can unpeel them like unraveling the layers of an onion. So don't think that a life alignment session is going to sort out your whole life if you've had lots of stress in one session, because how long did it take that stress to get there in the first place? So see it as your healing journey. See it as a journey that you're on, that you are going to commit to working on your wellness, working on belief systems that haven't been serving you. Maybe you've had situations in your life where you've been hurt by others and your perception of the whole thing has just becomes distorted because the mind is a terrible thing, actually. The mind plays tricks with us the whole time. That puts us into a fear base. And then when we're coming from a fear base, we make fear-based decisions and choices in our life. And then guess what happens? We hit the brick wall. And the same brick wall, we keep going into it because we're not changing our beliefs, we're not changing our perceptions. So how do we work on that? Okay, traditionally, maybe you may have gone to a psychologist, but we work deeper than even a psychologist does because we work in a different way to a psychologist. So for a minute, I want you to just visualize or see in your mind's eye an iceberg. An iceberg, the tip of the iceberg you see out of the water, that's the conscious mind. And the subconscious, that big mass that's underneath, that's your subconscious. So what we do as energy healers trained under the method of life alignment is look for the issue that is in the body's tissue. So your body carries the memory of everything that's gone on in your life. And with life alignment, we can access that memory. We can tap into your body's energy field and find out words that lead to a story. And that story can be current or anything from the past. And we will help you to access that story. Now, that's like going like a laser to find one story. You may have many, but that one story will be a trigger for many other repetitive patterns in your life. So that's why it's important to go to the root cause. So once we've gone to the root cause, you're not just dealing with that one problem, you're dealing with your way of behaving, your way of responding to certain things. So definitely this is what we need to do. So having done that exercise, maybe you can redo that exercise I told you to do, where you connect with your body anytime you feel stressed, and just notice in your body, are you carrying lots of stress in your shoulders? Especially like sometimes we're up here somewhere and we're not even realizing it. Like, take a deep breath in and just relax those shoulders down. All I'm saying is recognize that you are stressed. Don't numb out on it. Don't ignore it. You know, I was standing once to have a photograph taken with a family member. It was an in-law. And I put my hands on her shoulder and I said, oh my gosh, why are you in so much pain here? She said, I'm not in pain. I said, but you are. I can feel it with my hands. And she says, no, I'm not. And so I tweaked her shoulder. I went like, ee, and she goes, ouch, like this. And I'm going, so, but you said you didn't have any pain. And like, no, I just did a little tweak in your shoulder. And it's like, you can, like, just about going through the roof. And her pain was so bad, and she had left it because she didn't want to spend money on going for acupuncture. She didn't want to spend money going to the doctors anymore because she said nothing worked. She'd given up. She had left it so long that this had travelled all the way up here, and her eye was drooping right down here. And it was there permanently. The only time she had a little bit of reprieve with the eye looking a bit better was when she went through stages of feeling relaxed and not stressed. So, like I say, it affects us in all ways, shapes and forms. Now I'm going to do a part 2 of this because otherwise it's too long, and I am going to tell a couple of my own personal stories and experiences, so tune in for that.